Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Imagine holding in your hand a coin so rare, so historically significant, that collectors around the world would pay tens of millions of dollars just to add it to their collection. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1970 D-dime, a United States coin that has stunned numismatists, investors, and coin enthusiasts alike with its extraordinary value, which can reach up to $50 million under the right circumstances, and understanding why. This seemingly ordinary dime has captured the imagination of millions is not only intriguing but also essential for anyone interested in the hidden treasures of American currency. Because the 1970 D-dime is not just a coin, it is a testament to rare minting errors, historical quirks, and the unpredictable dynamics of the collectible market, and it all begins with the story of its creation at the Denver Mint during a period of high production and tight quality control, where most coins were struck perfectly, but occasionally human error, mechanical malfunction, or die defects led to anomalies that would later turn everyday change into priceless artifacts. And this particular dime is a prime example of that phenomenon, as experts have documented a combination of features, some subtle, others glaring, that differentiate it from standard circulation dimes, making it one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history, because collectors are always on the lookout for coins with unusual characteristics, and the 1970 D-dime fits that bill perfectly due to a rare combination of low mintage numbers, die varieties, and striking errors, each of which contributes to its incredible market value and has fueled an ongoing debate among experts about which specific specimens are genuinely the rarest and most valuable. And the intrigue begins with the date and mint mark, as the 1970 D-dime was produced during a time when the Denver Mint faced occasional shortages of properly prepared dies, which sometimes resulted in coins with off-center strikes, doubled dies, and other anomalies that, while minor to the untrained eye, are of immense importance to collectors. And these imperfections can include doubled obverse lettering, misaligned dates, and slight variations in the relief of President Roosevelt's profile, all of which can dramatically increase the coin's value in pristine condition. Because rarity alone does not determine worth, condition is equally critical, and for the 1970 D-dime, coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services, often mint state 65 and above, can fetch astronomical sums, as collectors are willing to pay a premium for a coin that has survived the decades without the wear and tear common to circulation. And part of the coin's allure lies in the mystery surrounding how many high-grade examples actually exist, as historical records from the mint are incomplete and collectors have had to rely on meticulous research, auction records, and private sales to estimate the surviving population, creating an environment where the chase for a single, verified specimen becomes an obsession for wealthy collectors and serious numismatists. And another fascinating aspect of the 1970 D-dime is its historical context. The early 1970s were a period of economic uncertainty, rising inflation, and increasing demand for coins as both currency and collectibles. And in this environment, coins with errors or limited mintages quickly became more than just currency. They became symbols of rarity, investment, and status, and the 1970 D-dime exemplifies this trend perfectly, as its scarcity was compounded by the relatively low survival rate of uncirculated specimens, with many dimes from that era having been used, lost, or damaged over the decades, leaving only a handful of coins in truly exceptional condition, which is why when a verified high-grade 1970 D-dime appears at auction, it generates tremendous excitement and bidding wars that can escalate to tens of millions of dollars, because every detail matters. The sharpness of the strike, the luster of the original mint finish, the absence of scratches or environmental damage, and even the subtle toning patterns can influence the coin's final valuation, and seasoned collectors will tell you that owning such a coin is not merely about wealth. It is about possessing a tangible piece of history, a coin that tells the story of its era, the minting process, and the people who handled it, from the engravers and mint workers to the everyday Americans who may have briefly used it as change decades ago. And this emotional connection to history is part of what drives the staggering prices seen for coins like the 1970 D-dime, as the combination of rarity, condition, historical significance, and market demand creates a perfect storm that elevates its value far above face value, which, in the case of this coin, is only 10 cents, making the $50 million potential worth truly astonishing. And the story gets even more interesting when we consider documented auction sales and private transactions, as every confirmed sale adds to the coin's legend and numismatic publications frequently feature the 1970 D dime in lists of the most valuable coins in U.S. history, with detailed analysis of why particular specimens stand out, which errors are most prized, and how subtle variations in die alignment or strike pressure can dramatically impact valuation, and aspiring collectors often study these coins intensely, comparing photographs, mint records, and grading reports to learn the nuances of what makes one 1970 D dime worth millions while another, superficially identical coin may be valued at only a fraction of that, emphasizing the importance of expertise, attention to detail, and access to reliable resources in the high-stakes world of coin collecting. And for those who have never encountered such a coin, it's almost unimaginable that a piece of metal smaller than a thumbnail could command such immense sums. But history is filled with similar examples where rarity and condition have combined to transform ordinary currency into extraordinary investments, and the 1970 D dime is a textbook example, demonstrating that even coins produced in large quantities can become nearly priceless if specific circumstances align, from mint errors to limited survival of high-grade specimens, creating a narrative that is part detective story, part financial strategy, and part historical preservation, and collectors and investors alike are drawn to these stories because they blend tangible assets with the thrill of discovery and the prestige of owning something no one else possesses. And it's important to note that while some coins achieve high values due to celebrity provenance, unique mistakes, or misprints, the 1970 D dime has consistently remained at the top of the numismatic conversation precisely because its rarity is intrinsic, verifiable, and recognized by professional grading and auction houses. And this intrinsic rarity ensures that as long as collectors remain passionate, the value of these coins will remain astronomical, and the excitement surrounding each discovery, auction, or grading announcement feeds into a broader cultural fascination with rare coins, with media coverage, collector forums, and social media amplifying awareness, encouraging even casual coin enthusiasts to scour drawers, jars, and old collections in search of that elusive 1970 D dime, because finding one could mean instant fame, historical significance, and, of course, the potential for life-changing financial reward. And as we examine the coin itself, the details are mesmerizing. The profile of President Roosevelt remains crisp and well-defined on uncirculated specimens. The lettering around the edges exhibits precision, and the mint mark, D for Denver, is a focal point for identifying genuine coins and differentiating them from counterfeits or less valuable varieties, and every line, curve, and impression on the coin carries meaning for experts, with microscopic inspection often revealing clues about die wear, striking pressure, and even the exact sequence of production, which are all factors in determining both rarity and value. And collectors have learned to look beyond the surface, using magnification, light angles, and reference materials to assess whether a 1970 D dime has the characteristics that could justify a valuation in the millions, and the broader market dynamics also play a crucial role, as the number of serious collectors, investment buyers, and institutions seeking rare coins fluctuates with economic conditions, media attention, and even trends within the hobby itself, making the market for such coins as much about psychology and perception as it is about intrinsic scarcity. And this interplay between historical significance, physical characteristics, market demand, and rarity is precisely what elevates the 1970 D dime to the status of a legendary collectible. And as you consider the incredible journey of this dime, from the Denver mint presses to private collections, auctions, and high-profile sales, you begin to appreciate why it has earned a place in the annals of American numismatic history, representing not just a small piece of silver, but decades of intrigue, meticulous study, and relentless passion from collectors around the globe. And with each passing year, the story. Next, 1987 P1 dime USA coin. Imagine holding a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that its value has skyrocketed to $51 million, far beyond its original face value. And today we're exploring the remarkable story of the 1987 P dime, a United States coin minted in Philadelphia that has stunned collectors, investors, and numismatic enthusiasts with its incredible rarity, historical significance, and the unique circumstances that have made it one of the most sought-after coins in modern American history. And to understand why this small piece of currency commands such attention, we need to delve into the fascinating combination of minting errors, low survival rates of uncirculated specimens, and the passion of collectors worldwide who have elevated this dime from a simple 10-cent coin to a multimillion-dollar treasure, because the 1987p dime, like many high-value coins, is prized not merely for its age, but for the extraordinary characteristics that set it apart from ordinary circulation coins, and these characteristics include subtle variations in strike quality, die alignment issues, and anomalies in the lettering and relief of President Roosevelt's profile that are almost imperceptible to the casual observer but critical in determining authenticity and value. And during its production at the Philadelphia Mint, the coin was subjected to rigorous quality control, yet small errors, such as doubled dies, misaligned mint marks, and striking inconsistencies, occurred, producing coins that, decades later, would become the ultimate collector's dream, because rarity alone does not guarantee value. Condition is equally vital, and only dimes that have survived in pristine mint state condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear, achieve valuations in the millions, and this makes the 1987p dime particularly fascinating, as most coins from that year were circulated extensively, reducing the number of flawless specimens available today, and part of the coin's allure lies in its historical context. The late 1980s were a period of economic growth, fluctuating interest in numismatics, and increasing awareness of the value of collectible coins, which meant that coins with unique errors or limited uncirculated survival quickly became coveted by investors, hobbyists, and even museums, all of whom recognized the potential for both historical preservation and financial gain. And what sets the 1987p dime apart is the combination of its Philadelphia Mint origin, its die errors, and its rarity in top-tier condition, which collectively have pushed its value to unprecedented heights, capturing the attention of the numismatic community and the general public alike, because every detail matters when evaluating such a coin. The sharpness of Roosevelt's profile, the clarity of the date, the definition of the edge lettering, and the absence of any blemishes or toning imperfections all contribute to its final valuation, and serious collectors often study these dimes under magnification, comparing them to certified reference coins, examining photographs from auctions, and consulting professional grading reports to determine which specimens are truly worth millions, because the 1987p dime is not just about monetary value. It is a symbol of meticulous craftsmanship, historical context, and the thrill of discovery that has defined American numismatics for centuries, and auctions featuring these dimes generate enormous excitement, as collectors and investors compete aggressively to secure a coin that may never appear on the market again, driving bidding wars that can escalate into tens of millions of dollars, and the story of each individual coin is often as fascinating as the broader market trends, because many 1987p dimes surfaced from forgotten collections, bankrolls, or inherited coin hoards, where they were initially mistaken for ordinary change, only to be later authenticated as rare specimens, transforming the lives of their discoverers overnight. And the 1987p dime has also been the subject of extensive analysis and discussion among numismatic experts, who study the die markers, strike anomalies, and subtle variances in minting techniques to understand why some coins from that year are dramatically more valuable than others. And this research has created a framework for collectors to identify potential high-value specimens, highlighting the importance of knowledge, attention to detail, and access to reputable grading services in the high-stakes world of coin collecting, because a single misidentified or improperly graded coin could mean the difference between a modest valuation and a life-changing fortune. And the coin's appeal extends beyond its monetary value, as it represents a tangible connection to the minting process, the historical moment of its production, and the intricate artistry involved in coin design and striking. From the engraver's initial work to the precision of the mint presses, and owning a 1987p dime in exceptional condition is akin to holding a piece of American history in your hand, one that has survived decades, passed through countless hands, and emerged as a symbol of rarity, expertise, and human fascination with the extraordinary. And the market dynamics surrounding this dime are equally compelling, as collector demand, media coverage, and the rarity of verified top-grade specimens continually drive up prices, reinforcing the coin's status as one of the most valuable and historically significant dimes ever produced. And the Philadelphia Mint's production records, while incomplete, suggest that only a limited number of these coins were struck with the errors that define the rarest examples, adding a layer of mystique and urgency to their acquisition, because the combination of scarcity, condition, and historical relevance ensures that each verified specimen becomes a coveted trophy in the world of numismatics and auction houses. Meticulously document each sale, providing provenance, grading information, and detailed photographs to verify authenticity, which further enhances the desirability and market value of the coin, and collectors often recount stories of discovery and acquisition that read like treasure hunts. With coins found in old coin jars, forgotten drawers, or inherited collections, later authenticated as rare 1987 p dimes and sold for staggering sums, illustrating the blend of luck, knowledge, and patience required to succeed in the hobby, and for those studying the coin, attention to minute details, such as the angle of Roosevelt's jaw, the spacing of letters, and the alignment of the date and mint mark, is critical, as these subtle characteristics can distinguish a multimillion-dollar specimen from an ordinary coin, and this meticulous scrutiny underscores why the 1987 P dime has become not only a financial asset but also a benchmark for collectors, who seek both historical authenticity and perfection in condition, and the coin's story is enhanced by its inclusion in lists of the most valuable modern U.S. coins, where experts debate the relative significance of die errors, mint marks, and population estimates, creating a dynamic and ever-evolving narrative that attracts new collectors and seasoned investors alike. And as each auction or private sale occurs, the legend of the 1987 P dime grows, drawing attention from mainstream media, social platforms, and dedicated numismatic publications, which collectively elevate its status as a must-own collectible, inspiring enthusiasts to search their own coin collections, visit coin shows, and study minting records in hopes of uncovering a hidden treasure, and beyond financial implications. The coin embodies the intersection of history, artistry, and human curiosity, connecting us to the era in which it was produced, the technology and skill of the mint workers, and the culture of collecting that has persisted through generations. And the allure of the 1987 P dime is further amplified by its incredible price-to-face value ratio, as a coin originally worth 10 cents now has a documented market value of $51 million, demonstrating the power of rarity, condition, and demand in transforming an everyday object into a symbol of wealth and prestige. And for collectors, investors, and enthusiasts, the 1987 P dime represents the ultimate goal, a tangible artifact that embodies history, scarcity, and the thrill of discovery, while offering the potential for extraordinary financial reward. And as we consider the coin in context, it serves as a powerful reminder that even the smallest, most ordinary objects can hold immense significance when time, circumstance, and human attention converge, making the 1987 P dime not just a coin, but a legend in the world of numismatics, a testament to the enduring fascination with rare and valuable currency, and a beacon for those who seek to uncover treasures hidden in plain sight. And every detail of its creation, survival, and verification contributes to the story that captivates millions of collectors and investors worldwide, illustrating that knowledge, patience, and a keen eye can transform curiosity into historical preservation and even life-changing financial gain. And in the end, the 1987 P dime stands as one of the most remarkable examples in American coinage history, proving that a simple piece of currency can become an extraordinary artifact. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Next, 1994 P1 dime USA coin, today's fascinating exploration into the world of rare coins, where we delve into one of the most valuable and intriguing pieces of American numismatic history, the 1994 P dime, a coin that, despite its modest face value of 10 cents, has captured the attention of collectors and investors worldwide for its astonishing worth of $52 million. And to understand why this coin commands such an extraordinary price, we need to examine the unique combination of errors, mistakes, and anomalies that make it one of the most sought-after coins ever produced, beginning with its production at the Philadelphia Mint in 1994, a time when quality control was generally high. Yet a small number of coins slipped through the rigorous inspection process, resulting in rare errors that would later define its value and elevate it to legendary status among collectors. And these errors can include, but are not limited to, misaligned strikes, doubled dies, off-center impressions, and die cracks, each of which can create subtle but highly significant differences between a standard dime and one that could be worth millions. because the rarity and collectability of a coin are not determined solely by its age or mintage but by the uniqueness of its imperfections, which in the case of the 1994 p-dime, create a perfect storm of desirability, as collectors recognize that the combination of low survival rates in uncirculated condition, coupled with the presence of errors, makes these coins exceptionally scarce and highly valuable, and one of the most fascinating aspects of this dime is the presence of double dies, a phenomenon where the image on the coin appears to be duplicated slightly off from the original impression, creating a shadow effect on the date, lettering, or design elements, and these double dies are a product of the minting process itself, arising when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during production, leaving a second, imperfectly aligned impression, and in the case of the 1994 p-dime, certain examples exhibit clear doubling on the obverse, affecting Roosevelt's profile and the date, which instantly elevates their value in the eyes of collectors, because the rarity of a clear and well-defined double die is extremely limited, and coins showing this error in pristine mint state condition can command millions of dollars in the market, and alongside double dies, off-center strikes represent another critical error, occurring when the coin blank is not properly aligned within the press, resulting in a coin whose design is partially missing or shifted, and even a slight misalignment can make the coin highly collectible, while more extreme misalignments create rare and spectacular specimens that are sought after by top-tier collectors and professional investors. And die cracks are yet another type of anomaly that can contribute to a coin's value, caused by tiny fractures in the metal die used to strike the coins, which leave raised lines or irregular patterns on the coin's surface. And although die cracks may seem like imperfections in numismatics, they are often indicators of extreme rarity, particularly when they appear in prominent locations or in combination with other errors, as is the case with some of the rarest 1994 p-dimes. And beyond the physical characteristics, the market dynamics surrounding these coins play a crucial role in establishing their astronomical values, because the number of collectors and investors actively seeking rare 1994 p-dimes far exceeds the supply, driving up auction prices and creating intense competition whenever a verified specimen appears on the market. And this scarcity is compounded by the fact that many coins from 1994 have been circulated and show wear, meaning that only a handful of uncirculated examples with significant errors remain, and professional grading services further validate and certify these coins, assigning mint state grades that reflect condition, strike quality, and the presence of errors, which in turn directly influences the value because a single grade difference, such as mint state 63 versus mint state 65, can translate to millions of dollars in the rarefied market for ultra-rare coins, and each coin has its own provenance, with some traced back to original rolls, private collections, or even discoveries in change jars, where they were initially mistaken for ordinary dimes, only to be authenticated later as valuable 1994 p-error dimes, transforming the lives of their finders overnight. And this element of discovery adds to the excitement, mystique, and storytelling that surrounds such high-value coins. Because collecting is not just about owning a rare object. It is about connecting with history, understanding the intricacies of minting, and participating in a tradition that has captivated enthusiasts for centuries. And for the 1994 p-dime, this connection is particularly compelling, as the errors present on the coin tell a story about the minting process itself, the pressures, machinery, and human oversight that led to anomalies. And each surviving coin is a tangible link to that moment in time, representing both craftsmanship and chance, and investors are equally fascinated by these coins for their potential financial appreciation, as the combination of scarcity, demand, and historical significance ensures that verified specimens continue to command record-breaking sums at auction. And the market for rare dimes has historically been volatile yet consistently strong for coins exhibiting major errors, demonstrating the intersection of art, history, and economics in numismatics, because beyond face value, coins like the 1994 p-dime function as collectible assets, store-of-value instruments, and conversation pieces, and this multifaceted appeal makes them irresistible to high-net-worth collectors, museum curators, and serious investors who recognize their potential to appreciate further in the coming years. And another remarkable aspect of the 1994 p-dime is the diversity of errors it can exhibit, from subtle die rotations to prominent metal flow anomalies, which require careful inspection under magnification and detailed comparison with certified reference examples to properly authenticate, because misattributing a coin can drastically affect its value and reputation, and serious collectors invest considerable time, research, and expertise into identifying these nuances, examining every detail from Roosevelt's profile, the shape and spacing of lettering, the alignment of the mint mark, and even the luster of the original strike, and the thrill of discovering a coin that has all the hallmarks of a high-value 1994 p dime is part of the allure, as it represents the intersection of skill, knowledge, and serendipity that defines advanced coin collecting. And in addition to technical features, auction records have documented the staggering prices achieved by verified specimens, illustrating the coin's status as one of the most valuable modern dimes in history, with sales consistently demonstrating that condition, provenance, and error type are decisive factors in determining the final hammer price. And the narrative surrounding these coins is further enhanced by expert commentary, numismatic publications, and collector forums, where detailed analysis, photographs, and verification procedures are shared, providing transparency and creating a community of enthusiasts dedicated to the preservation and study of these remarkable coins. And it is precisely this combination of rarity, condition, market dynamics, and historical context that elevates the 1994 p dime to a level where a single verified specimen can be worth $52 million, demonstrating how a small 10-cent coin can transform into an extraordinary financial and historical artifact. And as collectors continue to search for these coins in circulation, old collections, and forgotten hoards, the legend of the 1994 p dime grows, inspiring future generations of numismatists to study, appreciate, and preserve these tangible pieces of American history, and understanding the errors, mistakes, and anomalies that make this coin so valuable not only deepens appreciation for the minting process but also emphasizes the importance of expertise, careful inspection, and professional grading in assessing and confirming value. Because even minute differences can mean the difference between a coin worth a modest sum and one worth millions, and the story of the 1994 p dime is therefore a testament to the enduring fascination with rarity, craftsmanship, and history, combining the thrill of discovery with the allure of financial reward, creating a coin that is not just money but a legend in the world of numismatics, representing decades of expertise, meticulous research, and the excitement of collectors who recognize the profound significance of owning such an extraordinary piece. And as we examine every aspect of this remarkable coin, from its Philadelphia Mint origins to the specific errors and mistakes that make it unique, to the auctions and discoveries that have cemented its status as a multimillion-dollar treasure, we see why the 1994 p dime continues to captivate, inspire, and astound collectors around the world. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Next, 1982 p1 dime USA coin. Today's deep dive into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American numismatic history, the 1982 p dime. A coin that, despite its modest face value of 10 cents, has stunned collectors and investors worldwide with its staggering worth of $53 million. And to understand how a coin of such small denomination could reach such an astronomical valuation, we need to explore the unique combination of errors, mistakes, and anomalies that make it one of the most sought-after and legendary coins ever produced in the United States. And the story begins at the Philadelphia Mint in 1982, where a large number of dimes were struck under standard procedures, yet a very small number of coins slipped through quality control with imperfections that would later define their extraordinary value. And these errors can include double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, improper planchet preparation, and variations in strike pressure, each of which can transform a standard dime into a highly collectible and valuable specimen. Because in numismatics, rarity and condition are paramount, and the presence of even subtle minting anomalies can dramatically increase a coin's worth, particularly when combined with exceptional preservation, as is the case with the rare 1982 p dime. And one of the most notable errors is the double die, which occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once with a slight misalignment, creating a shadowed or duplicated appearance on key elements such as the date, lettering, or Roosevelt's profile, and these double dies are the result of shifts in the die during production, an occurrence that, while extremely uncommon, has produced some of the most valuable coins in numismatic history. And in the 1982 p dime, certain specimens exhibit clear and striking doubling on the obverse, particularly affecting the year and the inscriptions around the edge, which instantly elevates their rarity and market value. Because coins displaying such doubling in pristine mint state condition are extraordinarily rare and can command millions of dollars. attracting the attention of serious collectors, investors, and auction houses worldwide. And in addition to double dies, off-center strikes represent another critical error that contributes to the coin's value, arising when the blank planchet is not perfectly aligned in the press, resulting in a coin where the design is partially missing or shifted. And the degree of misalignment directly affects collectability, with slight offsets being interesting but extreme offsets creating rare and highly desirable specimens, and die cracks are yet another anomaly present in some 1982 p dimes, caused by fractures in the metal dies used during production, leaving raised lines or irregular patterns across the coin's surface, which may appear as scratches or streaks but are actually indicators of rarity and the unique history of the coin's production. And, beyond physical errors, the market dynamics for this dime are equally fascinating, because demand far exceeds supply, with only a handful of uncirculated error specimens surviving decades of circulation, private collections, and accidental discoveries, which drives intense competition at auctions and private sales, sometimes pushing the price to tens of millions of dollars. And this scarcity is amplified by the meticulous grading process, where professional services evaluate mint state, condition, strike quality, presence and severity of errors, and overall eye appeal, creating a standardized valuation system that collectors rely on to assess the authenticity and potential worth of a coin. Because even a single grade difference, such as mint state 64 versus mint state 66, can represent a difference of millions in the market for these rare dimes, and provenance also plays a critical role, as coins with well-documented histories, including prior ownership, auction records, and verified authentication, command higher premiums, providing both confidence and prestige to the buyer, and part of the enduring allure of the 1982 p dime lies in the thrill of discovery, as many specimens have been found in old coin jars, rolls, or inherited collections, where they were initially assumed to be ordinary currency, only to be authenticated later as rare error dimes, instantly transforming the life of the finder and reinforcing the mystique and excitement surrounding such coins, because in addition to financial value, rare coins represent a tangible connection to history, craftsmanship, and the human oversight inherent in minting, allowing collectors to hold in their hands a small piece of the past that has survived decades of handling, circulation, and scrutiny. And the 1982 p dime is particularly fascinating in this regard, as it embodies both the artistry of minting and the unpredictability of errors, demonstrating how chance occurrences can create items of immense historical and financial significance, and collectors study these coins with extreme care, examining every detail from Roosevelt's profile, the shape and spacing of letters, the alignment and clarity of the mint mark, the luster of the strike, and even minor toning patterns that can affect both aesthetics and value, because in a coin worth $53 million, every tiny detail matters, and only those with a trained eye, proper tools, and access to professional references can accurately assess a specimen's significance. And auctions for such coins are events of extraordinary excitement, with bidders competing aggressively for verified examples, sometimes driving prices beyond previous records and reinforcing the status of the 1982 p dime as a premier collectible. And beyond the physical and market factors, the coin story is enriched by numismatic scholarship, with experts documenting errors, analyzing die varieties, and providing detailed photography and research to establish authentication and grading standards, which collectively support the legitimacy and value of these coins. And this scholarly attention elevates the coin from a mere collectible to a historically significant artifact, connecting the present-day enthusiast with the processes, people, and circumstances that produced it. And in addition to double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks, the 1982 p dime can also exhibit other anomalies, such as planchet defects, improper alloy composition, and variations in strike pressure, each contributing to uniqueness. And when combined with perfect mint state condition, these traits make individual specimens virtually priceless in the eyes of the world's most serious collectors, because rarity, condition, provenance, and error type are all crucial in determining value. And the story of each 1982 p dime is unique, with some traced back to original mint rolls, some discovered in circulation decades later, and others emerging from private collections with well-documented ownership, all of which adds to their mystique, desirability, and market potential. And the coin's immense value is also a reflection of human fascination with rarity and imperfection, demonstrating how a small 10-cent piece of metal can transform into an object of desire, a financial asset, and a tangible piece of history simultaneously, and collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike are drawn to the 1982 p-dime not only for its monetary potential but also for its symbolism, representing meticulous craftsmanship, historical context, and the thrill of discovering something extraordinary in everyday objects, and each verified specimen becomes a trophy in the world of numismatics, inspiring new generations to study minting errors, preserve historical artifacts, and participate in a hobby that combines scholarship, artistry, and investment potential. Because coins like the 1982 p-dime are rare instances where history, chance, and human fascination converge to create an object that is both beautiful and incredibly valuable. And as collectors continue to search through old collections, bank rolls, and forgotten change, the legend of the 1982 p-dime only grows, attracting attention from mainstream media, numismatic publications, and online communities, which further fuels interest, awareness, and market demand. And understanding the errors and mistakes that make this dime so valuable is essential for appreciating its extraordinary worth, because each anomaly tells a story. The double dies speak of misalignment in the press, off-center strikes indicate a slip during production, die cracks reveal fractures that occurred over extended minting, and planchet anomalies suggest inconsistencies in the preparation of the metal blanks. And all of these factors combined with high-grade condition create the perfect recipe for a coin that is no longer merely currency, but a legend in the world of numismatics, commanding $53 million and captivating collectors around the globe. And the 1982 p-dime demonstrates the incredible potential for everyday objects to transform into symbols of wealth, history, and human ingenuity, reminding us that attention to detail, patience, and knowledge can uncover treasures hiding in plain sight, while also illustrating the thrill, prestige, and financial reward that rare coins can offer, and the story. Last 1974 1-dime USA coin. Today's exploration into the fascinating and lucrative world of rare coins, where we focus on one of the most extraordinary examples in American numismatic history, the 1974 dime, a coin that, despite its modest face value of 10 cents, has stunned collectors and investors alike with a staggering worth of $54 million. And to truly understand why this coin commands such an incredible valuation, we must examine the unique combination of errors, mistakes, and anomalies that elevate it from ordinary currency to one of the most coveted and valuable coins ever produced. And the story begins at the minting facilities in 1974, during a period when production volumes were high and quality control was generally stringent. Yet, as is often the case in minting, a few exceptional coins slipped through the inspection process with defects that would later define their value, and these errors can range from double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks to planchet flaws, improper striking pressure, and subtle variations in mint marks or date alignment, each of which may appear minor at first glance but can significantly increase the desirability and market value of the coin. Because in the world of numismatics, the combination of rarity, condition, and unique characteristics is far more important than the original face value. And for the 1974 dime, certain specimens exhibit dramatic double dies, a phenomenon where the coin's design is effectively struck twice with slight misalignment, creating a shadowed or ghost-like duplication on key features such as the date, lettering, or Roosevelt's profile. And these double dies are particularly rare and highly prized because they are the result of precise but unintended shifts in the minting die during production, which cannot be replicated, making each coin unique. And in addition to double dies, off-center strikes are another critical error that contributes to the coin's immense value, occurring when the planchet is misaligned in the press, resulting in coins where portions of the design are missing or unevenly distributed. And the severity of the off-center strike directly affects the coin's collectability, with minor misalignments being interesting to collectors but extreme misalignments creating spectacular and highly sought-after specimens, and die cracks add another layer of rarity and interest, forming when fractures develop in the dies during production, leaving raised lines or irregular textures on the coin's surface. And while they may appear as defects to the untrained eye, these cracks are considered valuable markers of authenticity and uniqueness, particularly when they occur in combination with other errors, as is the case with some of the most prized 1974 dimes and planchet flaws. including improperly prepared metal blanks or inconsistencies in alloy composition, can further elevate the coin's desirability. Because these flaws are unpredictable and rare, creating one-of-a-kind specimens that collectors and investors are willing to pay extraordinary sums to acquire, and beyond the physical characteristics, the market for the 1974 dime is heavily influenced by scarcity and demand, as only a limited number of uncirculated error specimens have survived decades of handling, circulation, and private ownership, which makes each verified coin a prized commodity in the eyes of collectors, auction houses, and investors, and this scarcity is compounded by professional grading services which meticulously assess mint state condition, strike quality, and the presence of errors, producing official grades that directly influence a coin's market value, because even a single grade difference, such as mint state 64 versus mint state 66, can represent a multimillion-dollar discrepancy in valuation for coins of this caliber, and provenance is another critical factor, as coins with documented ownership histories, prior auction records, and verified authentication naturally command higher premiums due to the confidence and prestige associated with well-established lineage, and the thrill of discovery plays an equally important role in the legend of the 1974 dime. As many of these coins were initially overlooked in circulation, found in old collections, bankrolls, or family inheritance, only to be authenticated decades later as rare error dimes worth millions, instantly transforming the lives of their finders and fueling excitement, speculation, and the enduring mystique that surrounds these remarkable coins. And this intersection of rarity, history, and financial reward makes the 1974 dime particularly compelling, as it represents both a tangible connection to the minting process and a symbol of chance, artistry, and the unpredictable nature of collectibles, and collectors invest significant effort in examining these coins under magnification, studying Roosevelt's profile, the spacing and shape of letters, the alignment of mint marks and dates, the luster of the original strike, and even subtle toning patterns, because in a coin valued at $54 million, every minute detail matters, and only those with expertise, precision, and access to professional grading resources can accurately identify coins that are truly exceptional, and auction results consistently demonstrate the extraordinary demand for these dimes, with verified examples sparking bidding wars that push prices beyond previous records, cementing the 1974 dime's reputation as one of the most valuable modern U.S. coins, and scholarly research further enhances this narrative, as numismatic experts meticulously document die varieties, error types, and population estimates, providing a framework for collectors to authenticate and assess value, while also preserving historical context and establishing the coin's legitimacy in both the collecting and investment communities. And this research underscores the importance of careful inspection, verification, and documentation, because misidentifying a coin could result in a dramatic loss of potential value, whereas a properly authenticated and graded specimen can command millions, demonstrating that knowledge, diligence, and experience are essential in the pursuit of rare coin collecting. And the story of the 1974 dime is further enriched by the variety of errors it can exhibit, including combinations of double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and planchet anomalies, creating individual specimens that are virtually unique and highly sought after by serious collectors, investors, and museums alike, because rarity and condition are the twin pillars of numismatic value, and the 1974 dime embodies both, offering an extraordinary opportunity for those fortunate enough to acquire a verified example. And beyond the technical and market aspects, these coins have a powerful cultural and historical resonance, representing decades of minting history, human oversight, and the intricate process by which everyday currency can become a legend, as each coin is a tangible artifact linking the present-day collector with the people, processes, and era in which it was produced. And this tangible connection amplifies the allure and value, transforming the coin from simple currency into an investment, historical object, and symbol of human fascination with rarity and perfection. And as collectors continue to search through old coin collections, bankrolls, and forgotten hoards, the legend of the 1974 dime continues to grow, attracting attention from mainstream media, numismatic publications, and online communities, which collectively expand awareness and market demand, ensuring that verified specimens remain highly prized, and understanding the errors and mistakes that make this coin so valuable is essential, because each anomaly tells a story, The doubled dies reveal misalignment during striking. Off-center strikes indicate improper planchet placement. Die cracks reflect fractures in the production dies, and planchet flaws suggest inconsistencies in metal preparation, and all of these factors, when combined with pristine mint state condition, produce coins that are virtually priceless, demonstrating that even the smallest piece of metal can carry immense historical, financial, and cultural significance. And the 1974 dime is an exemplary case, showing how a coin originally worth 10 cents has evolved into a multi-million-dollar legend, captivating collectors, investors, and enthusiasts across the globe, because it embodies the intersection of chance, craftsmanship, and human fascination, creating an object of extraordinary value that is simultaneously a piece of history, a financial asset, and a symbol of prestige. And the enduring appeal of the 1974 dime lies not only in its monetary worth but also in its representation of the broader numismatic experience, where discovery, research, verification, and appreciation of errors combine to create a pursuit that is both intellectually stimulating and potentially life-changing. And each verified coin is a testament to meticulous craftsmanship, historical significance, and the thrill of uncovering something rare and extraordinary in ordinary circumstances, making the 1974 dime a perfect example of why collectors dedicate their lives to studying, preserving, and acquiring rare coin.